And welcome to CyberCast IRL, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. That's right, the show has begun. We have had a lively chat this morning already. For those of you that are new to the channel, we typically kind of get together a few minutes before for some pre-show fun. So feel free to join us. I'm typically here probably about 15 minutes or so before, but sometimes people like Wayne's Real World, Carrie Chasen, and tons of other. I could honestly, I was watching some of my older episodes and see I spend so much time calling out everybody's name that I might be taking too much time away. And now that we have such a roster of regulars in the chat, you know who you are. That's right, the hardcores, the diehards, my ride or dies. What's up, everybody out there? Thank you for joining me today, as always. Today is April the 18th. Friday, that is. It's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you know what time it is? It is CyberCast IRL, where we talk about cybersecurity stuff, anything related to it, around it. We try to keep it in that vein as much as we can. But hey, you know, every now and then we diverge into different topics, but it's still a lot of fun. And that's what this show is all about. Having fun, talking cyber, and kind of hanging out, being that space where if it's about cyber, it's on the table, and you can have your own opinions, and there is nothing to stop you. There's no judgment here. It's a safe zone for you to go, you know what I hate, or you know what I love, and it might be a weird thing, or it might be a hot take or whatever, and that's cool, because that just sparks conversation. And I love a good conversation. That's what it's all about. Hopefully I'm coming in live at 5 today. I will be checking the chat for you. This is a bit of an AMA, so if you want to ask me something, or if you have a something you want to bring to my attention specifically, you can drop that in the chat. I'm going to bring the chat over to the screen so you can kind of see. I've got some ways to help you make that possible to where I can actually see this. You'll notice, like Carrie Taylor here, right around this region, you see that they highlighted my name with @Daniel Lowry. So it shows up with this nice bold red background. I see it really easy on the backdrop of that black background. It says, missed the last few shows due to work deadlines. I did pass the CISA Plus. Well, congratulations, Carrie Taylor. Rock on. We love to hear that, right? Everybody, round of applause. A round of applause for Carrie Taylor. That is no small feat. So a big congratulations to you on that and your win. Feel good. Feel the high, because it is a rush. But again, going back to the chat, so if you got something you want me to see, just like Carrie did, make sure you @ my name so that I can see it very, 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 very well. All right. That means we'll get to the show today. What's going on? Oh, morning pour. That's right. For those of you new to this, it's the morning pour time, where I grab this lovely cup right here. It is the Lord's camo cup, right? The Lord's camo, which is woodland camo, which somebody said the other day. I thought that was hysterical, and I've been using it ever since. I've got a bit of ice and the monster. Any guesses what monster color I have today? This is something fun we like to do. I'll give you a few seconds here to throw it in the chat. What color or what flavor do you think that we've got going on today? Post which flavor. That's right. Luke J. What's up, Luke J? Roswell in the house. Talking about CVE funding or whatever. Yep, we'll get to that. That's a good topic of conversation, I think. But Luca says, I always choose white. I see purple. Let's see here. Red, purple. Everybody knows I love the purple one. The purple is delicious. Divine Dream Divine says, I'll give you a blue one. I do like the blue one. Pastel for Easter. You know what? It is kind of pastel. Okay, the wait is over. Today, it is pastel pink, which is ultra, what am I doing over there? Ultra Strawberry Dreams. Ultra Strawberry Dreams. Carrie Chase is a polka dotted monster. Yeah, that would be cool if they made a polka dot, like a Randy Rhodes monster. And it could taste like Rocky Road ice cream or something. I don't know. That'd be fun. But this is what we do, a little ASMR for the kids at home. Let's tilt this here, get that good crack. Oh. Ooh, had a little pregnant pause there in the middle. All right, are we ready for the pour, kids? Let's do it, shall we? I used less ice today because I chilled it. Isn't that fun? Don't we love that? Tap and pull. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Ooh, I likes. I like it so much. Makes me happy inside. Man, I'm gonna get another one of those. Teraflops, hacking methodology. Step 1, poor monster. Listen, if you are not properly fueled for the battle ahead, how do you expect to gain victory? I just don't, that doesn't make sense, right? So yes, you have to be fueled up. Somebody's somebody said you make this so entertaining or something like that. What was it? It's pink, it's blue. I'm looking at the chat, trying to catch up with everybody here. We did have a few ats for me here. Let's see here. And I think Roswell dropping it like it's hot, talking about the thoughts on the CVE funding. Yeah. So it was an interesting thing. Tiberius was the person who leaked it. If you're not familiar with Tiberius, you should go check out. He's pretty happening on LinkedIn. I think he's got YouTube things going on as well. Somebody let him know because they were on the board, and they were like, "Hey, you can go ahead and share this." So he kind of leaked it out early, and it was basically, from what I understand. So I kind of dove into it a little bit. Here's where it stood last time I checked, and then what's you know what? Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's bring up a browser. And I think it's called, I actually wrote some notes for this one because I thought this might come up. All right. Let me just grab my notes on that. That is. Okay. Let me grab this URL, which I will also copy, throw it in the chat, paste, so you can follow along if you like. And so apparently some of the CVE board members, get this back up, put this here, paste, created kind of like an offshoot on this called the CVE Foundation. So they're looking to take this as into like a nonprofit. And here's what I thought was really interesting about what they're saying here. So they're saying, like, they're kind of giving you the rundown. The CVE Foundation has been formally established to ensure the long-term viability, stability, and independence of the Common Vulnerabilities and Exposure Program, a critical pillar to our global security infrastructure for 25 years. Absolutely fair statement. Then it goes into this right here, which is where it gets super interesting. Since its inception, the CVE program has operated as a U.S. government-funded initiative with oversight and management provided under contract. And that's what happened. They just, their contract, the government decided to let it lapse. They were not going to renew the contract. So let's see here. Where was I? Okay, right here. Oh, you probably can't read all this. This is like super tiny. It says, while this structure has supported the program's growth, and this is where I thought it got really interesting, it has also raised long-standing concerns among members of the CVE board about the sustainability and the neutrality of a globally relied upon resource being tied to a single government sponsor. This concern has become urgent following an April 15th, 2025 letter from MITRE notifying the CVE board that the U.S. government does not intend to renew its contract for managing the program. While we had hoped this day would not come, we have been preparing for this possibility, right? In response, Coalition, longtime active CVE board members have spent past years developing a strategy to transition CVE to a dedicated nonprofit foundation. And CVE Foundation will focus on continuing the mission of delivering Okay, so that's basically, and then it kind of goes into what their mission statement is and all that fun stuff. So what I really thought was interesting is that they kind of figured this day was coming one day, and that it seems like they agreed with that, right? Because they had long-standing, there it is right there, also raised long-standing concerns among the board members about the sustainability and neutrality of a globally relied upon resource being tied to a single government sponsor. And that does make sense, right? Like, if this is a global thing, and it is sponsored by a specific government entity, a state. It's basically state sponsored. It's not basically, it is state sponsored, or it was. I guess it technically still is. Then, yeah, I mean, their governments like to have things their way. So it's I think that was right for them to be like have that long-standing concern. Like, should we be funded by the US government only, or should it be more like, so I kind of applaud the idea that they move toward a nonprofit and lets orgs or maybe governments donate money to the cause from outside, right? But they're their own entity. That seems to make more sense. And and honestly, it does kind of seem like they were looking to break up with the US government, but the US government beat them to the punch. You know how it is? It's like when your girlfriend or boyfriend kind of comes to you and says, "Hey, we need to talk," and you go, "I want to break up." Right? And like they're like, "Dang you. No, I was gonna break up with you. Nope, nope, I already broke up with you. You can't break up with me. I broke up with you. Ha ha ha." Like, I'm the dumper, not the dumpy. That's kind of how it feels. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but it's funny to say it. And then, of course, CISA came in and was like, well, there's an option in your contract that gives you an extension. Even though we are not renewing the contract, there's an extension of 11 months that we are going to apply. So they applied this 11-month option. So this looks like it's going to give them almost a year's off ramp to kind of get their CVE foundation going. I don't know if this is even going to be a real thing. It seems like it. They got a website and everything, but anybody can start a website, I guess. But there you go. That's what I know. Let me check Chatola of what's going on here and see if anybody else has got some interesting stuff to say about that, or just want to hit me up about something. Oh, Fred on says, if you keep doing this morning pour, you might as well get Monster to sponsor the show. Reach out to Monster. Let them know. Daniel makes me want to drink Monster every Friday morning, at least. Ah, that was good. Strawberry. Man, I'm not going to... Hold on. Man, my grape might have a... I know I say this all the time, but that might be... We'll see how that goes. I mean, that's good. That is tasty. I like strawberry stuff, so that makes sense. I am a kid of the... It's like, do I want strawberry Kool-Aid or do I want grape Kool-Aid? This is not an easy answer, right? Carrie Chasen says, there has to be a way to get into the door for work. The companies keep telling me they like my skills and go with someone else. Now I'm looking for healthcare, IT, and still UX design. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let me make sure I get caught up here with what's going on. Roswell says, if Tiberius hadn't leaked it, would have still got an extended funding. Any thoughts? That's a good question. I don't know. Probably. I think probably. Because he only leaked it like a day early. So it still would have came out. It wasn't like this was going to happen in 6 months and he leaked it. It was literally the day before. So yeah, Alpha Sierra says, I bet it would have. I agree. My feeling is that, of course, that's, speculation. Take that with a grain of salt. Mileage may vary. Not sure about that. This is what TJ Williams says. Not sure about that, but I'm super happy he did. Bringing things to light has disinfected properties. It does sometimes. You're absolutely right. Let's see here. It's still waiting for the strictest. That's funny. Stinking YouTube. You gotta love YouTube. They got poor Abe. He said if he didn't refresh his screen, he'd be still waiting for the stream to start. Well, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you figured that out. That's always fun. A nonprofit cashing in on government spending. Yeah, it's definitely something that's you have to kind of like figure out. There's usually not really good, perfect solutions for anything. There's always pros and cons to most things. So you got to go, oh yeah, should I take government money at all, or only come from? Well, then you're being driven by, or large corporations. Do you cap and then is that going to be enough money? You know what I mean? There's there's a lot of compromise that has to go in and working with things to figure out, and you got to have all the under the covers kind of inside baseball track to know where things fall apart. And unless you're there, you know what I mean? I try to give a lot of leeway myself when I don't have all the information. We all we can do is make our best guess at how that would look. Let's see here. What's going on here? And then we'll jump over to Carrie's. Roswell says, does China have its own version of CVE? They probably just ripped ours off because that's what they did, right? They broke into MITRE with state-sponsored whatever, and they just copied it. Let's see here. Marcus Kyler says, home from church. No, I think funding would have lapsed for at least a week or so had the news not been leaked. Okay, that's a possibility. Let's see here. This comes from Luke J. All of MITRE's funds come from the U.S. government. Even though it claims to be a nonprofit, it is technically a government contractor. They get $2.3 billion a year. That is a lot of money. That is a lot. What? Super says, billion? What the hell? Yeah. Alpha Sierra says, have I tried the peach? We did peach last week when I was on the road. That was a lot of fun. I was in Baltimore with the content creation crew for Anti-Siphon and Black Hills. And I did an on-the-road version of this lovely little show right here. And peach was the one we did. And it is tasty. You are absolutely correct. I will not deny how amazing that is. Did I try the Blue Hawaiian one? Does that answer your question right there? Oh, yeah, this goes up on the wall. That's right. Gotta put that there. There we go. I'm going to run out of space. I need to get one more Funko Pop thing. There we go. So Luke J says CVE is only a small recipient of the 2.3 billions of the funds. So that's good. Hopefully it doesn't cost too much. Hammond's video. Man, John went buck wild on his video. You want to talk about a hot take. Boy was on fire. It was kind of fun to watch because John is a very chill dude. To see, like, he was visibly angry. So that was kind of fun. Oh, Wayne's letting me know. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. If I missed something, Wayne's Real World is in the chat. He's kind of our unofficial or official unofficial moderator. If I miss something, he'll try to make sure that I see it. So if I'm not seeing you, maybe tag Wayne and he can kind of bring it to me. John V asks, why can't we super chat? Honestly, I don't know, but probably because I don't monetize this, or I haven't turned on super chats, or yeah, that's it. I've tried to make this honestly, if there, I do have a buy me a coffee link, but is Anthony Sequeira here? Yes, he is. Oh, what's up, bro? What's up, my brother? Glad to see you live on the U of the Tube. I'm glad to see you here in the chat, my man. How's things going? I hope all is well within Anthony Sequeira land. Anthony's my bro from a previous life. I mean, still my bro, but we worked together at the company that shall not be named. And yeah, we got to choose some of the same corporate dirt together, which was fun. And I can't stop drinking this, by the way. Abe says that he had an awesome time catching up with Jason Blanchard and Deb Wigley last weekend in Baltimore. Were you at B-Sides Charm? Because they were there. I can only assume that is what you mean, because I did not get to go. I was going to go, and then it was just too much time away from my family. We are a single car family. So, and it takes me about an hour and a half to get to an airport. And I had to drive, so my wife was without vehicle for 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was. I think 3 days. And I'm like, I can't be gone 5 days. My wife and kids just sitting at the house looking at the sky going, I can't go anywhere. All right, so cool. B-Sides Charm. Yep, very, very awesome. And who was it that said to mix the grape and the strawberry together? That's not a bad idea. That's actually a really good idea. Maybe next week we do a mix, right? A double pour of Monster. That could be fun. TJ Williams, now I have to have strawberry. I blame Lowry. You should, because it's delicious. I mean, it's like a treat. It's like I'm drinking a dessert or something. Sometimes it gets like, not this one, but some of them have a lot more carbonation, and that carbonation can make it really like bitey. I think because when I drink them from the can, they tend to be really bitey. When I do the pour, it gets a bit of that carbonation out, drops it down to more sweet than bite, which is how I like it. So Justin Cole says, just need to get a slushy machine at that point. All right. Anthony's letting me know that all is well. This live stream is awesome, Jim. Congrats. Well, thank you much. We do enjoy this a lot. Black Shell's asking me, do I play the guitar on the live stream? I play guitar. Are you asking me if I just play the guitar? I think the answer is yes. I do play the guitar. If you're asking, do I play the guitar on the live stream? I've done it once, and that's when the live stream blew up on me and went to hell in a handcart. It was flipping crazy and not fun. So I was using my phone, and since it had already gone off the rails, somebody asked me something about the guitar, so I pulled it out, and we played. It was fun. Anthony says, Daniel shreds on the guitar. In fact, he helped me out when I was stuck. He does play. Anthony plays. He plays drums. He's a pretty good drummer, and he does play guitar. And we've had some fun playing music, man. I miss playing music. I gotta be honest with y'all. If I played in bands for years, and I really enjoyed like the brotherhood I built with the guys in the band. While that can get ugly from time to time, because it really is like a family where you're like, what's your problem, bro? You're not practicing. And then, but the brews and the laughs and just having fun and playing songs and tunes you just love. It's an experience that I would wish on anyone, because it is awesome. And I miss doing that. It's hard to get a band together, though, to be honest with you. I don't want to go, I don't want to be a gigging musician anymore, because that takes a lot of time, and I don't have that. I just want to get together with a group like once a week and jam some tunes and have fun and enjoy that experience. And then if we are tight enough and a gig comes up or a party or something, I'd be down for it, but not that is our goal. We're going to practice 3 times a week and play gigs every weekend. We're going to those days for this guy are over. Can I play something for us? I don't have, you won't be able to hear it. You'll hear it for like 3 seconds, and then the mic will squash it, because this mic is a vocal mic for doing podcasts. I would need to do a lot of stuff for you to be actually able to hear the guitar. So, which I don't have available. So no, I won't be playing anything today. But enough people keep talking to me about the guitars. Maybe I'll start a guitar side channel. Not because there's not enough of those, right? Very, very fun. All right, let me look at the chat and see if I missed anything about like tech and IT stuff, right? You know what's funny is Mustache IT in the chat. Mustache IT, if you're here, throw your hand up. Just let me know you're in there, because you gave me a great idea. You reached out to me on LinkedIn and do like AC/DC. Yeah, I can do AC/DC. I play a lot of AC/DC. But Mustache IT reached out to me on LinkedIn and asked me about doing like questions or a technical interview, right? So when you go for an interview of, like a SOC analyst or any cyber related things, a lot of times they will give you like a technical questionnaire to see where you're at and to make sure that your resume isn't full of a bunch of bull crap, right? So ask you questions. Mustache IT, there you are. Cool. Yeah. He says that stuff can make him nervous, and it does, right? Because you're sitting there thinking, do I know this stuff? Am I going to blank out? And that happens, right? It's flipping, you could know it stone cold. I've had this happen myself. It's just your brain goes, yeah, that thing I'm not going to access that information for you today. but you're like, but I really need that right now. It's like, nah, I don't care. So it does happen, right? If that happens to you, if you're in an interview and somebody is like, what, could you explain the idea of what a firewall is and how that works? And you go, yeah, firewall. Yeah, it's fire and then there's a wall and you're just flat for whatever reason, your brain is not accessing that information. Just be honest. That's what I would do. I've learned that the cooler you just kind of make yourself and go, you know what? For whatever reason, my brain is shutting me off from that level for that information right now, probably because, we're in this interview situation. Let me come back to that. What's your next question? We'll come back to that. And that way you can think about it, right? Yeah, pinball, tilt, bang, bang, right? Hit the machine, right? But this does happen. And you do want to have some, maybe do some where you, what's the words on? It's happening to me right now. You want to pregame. That's what I'm looking to say. You want to pregame for that. Use something like ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. Let's do this, right? And you can just go ask it to create questions for whatever you like. So I think Brave Search has a built-in AI that doesn't freak out, and you can just say, create a list of technical questions for a SOC analyst YST interview. There we go. And then it just might give you some questions. And this will just be a good way to pregame whether or not, like, okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. I'll make sure my head's not covering. There we go. How would you react if you received a malware attack alert? This question tests your ability to handle real-time threats and your understanding of incident response procedures. Right. That's a good question, kind of to have already thought about and in the pocket for if this question comes up at that interview. Okay, how would I react if I receive a malware? Where would I begin? Was probably checking to make sure this isn't a false positive. What were the indicators that fired off the alerts? What SIM are we using? What, alert mechanisms are being accessed? Is it coming from an email? Am I watching a dashboard? How does that work? What access to the dashboard do I have as far as triaging this? I would probably then call start my investigation, depending on the procedure that we have in place. What's the SOP for handling this in your org? Could be different from others, but I would probably want to go ahead and start talking with someone. Hey, are you receiving alerts? Are you seeing any funny things that are happening? Is your computer acting strangely? Do we need to escalate this? What's going on there? So, sorry, Carrie. I totally forgot about you, bro. We'll get to you. Don't worry. So yeah, this is a great way to pregame for those interview technical questionnaires, right? How do you analyze a distributed denial of service, a DOS attack, right? This is to help understand the steps and tools used to mitigate and analyze DOS attacks. And it's crucial for SOC analysts. Very good question. So this is just a good way to try to help relieve some of that pressure that you might feel or anxiety that could creep up when it comes to knowing that you're going to hit a round of technical questions from your interview panel or your interviewer. Okay. Hopefully that helps relieve that anxiety because you've been pre-gaming all day long and now you're set to jet. So this is a great way to use and leverage AI to make you a badass, right? So let's see here. Let's go back. Check the chat. Check the chatola. And we see Outlaw 11 says mixing Monster like fountain drinks from 7-Eleven. You darn right. Right? We like to think outside the box here, don't we? I love it. Anthony asks, is this weekly? Yes, it is weekly. We do this every Friday. Lord willing. It's Good Friday today. As Jerry was saying, it's Great Friday. We've had a great day today. This has been a lot of fun. Man, I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes. We've already been at this for 30 minutes. Black Shell, yes, if I can play something for it. If you go to my LinkedIn, one day I was just having fun playing guitar and I filmed myself playing a little bit. So just go to my LinkedIn profile, look at my posts. I think there's a specific area for video, and you should be able to find that video. If not, you just scroll through the post. You'll find it. It's there. You might have to go back a while, but it's there. There's something there. And then I'll try to find some or make some more guitar playing stuff. We are all nerds about music and translate to nerding out about tech. It is. We like finagling with things and minutia and stuff like that. And there's a lot to do with that, with guitar and drums and music in general. Abe asked, have I and Jesse Johnson ever teamed up for a music show? We have talked about it. It's just because geographically we don't, live close to each other. Plus, lugging around gear is not the easiest thing in the world. Carrie says, you can't fret the audio room. So funny. Let's see here. The mustache is here. Cool. And ball tilts. I'm catching up. Black Shell says, do you think a good hacker is actually a good programmer? That's funny. So that's a really good question. I love this question. And I want to answer that by, let's start off with, I'm actually creating a Python series for free on YouTube right now for you good folks. First episode has dropped. Let's go to YouTube. I'll show you that. YouTube.com/Daniel Lowry. No, it's at Daniel Lowry. Bada bing. Get there. Do it right, Daniel. And from there, you should be able to find this. There it is, right there. Python for Beginners. Bada bam. Let me grab the old link, copy the link, throw it in chat. Paste. Bam. So episode 1 has started. I filmed episode 2 last night. Yeah, 2 comes after 1. Last night. It will be released tomorrow. And so if you want to learn some Python, you'll probably notice a lot of people are always telling you, learn Python, right? If you're going to learn some programming, you should start with Python. It is because it's one of the more user-friendly to get into. And I remember being told that back in the day, and then we'll get to your question. Then we got to get to Carrie. I remember being told, oh yeah, Python, that's where you should start because it's really easy to jump in. It's really human readable. And for someone at the time who didn't know anything about Python or programming or scripting at all, and when I started looking, I was like, you are a liar. This doesn't make any flipping sense to me. So I actually started learning how to script and program with Bash because I spent a lot of time in Linux, as you've seen. And then I started, so a script is basically just a bunch of Bash commands kind of strung together. And then I could keep it in a file and just run it, and it does all those commands in a line. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then you start to pick up like, what a variable is and how that works. Oh, okay. And then blah, blah, blah. So that's how I kind of moved in. After I figured out Bash to a certain extent, then I was able to transition to Python fairly easily. But now I'm trying to take that experience to make it to where if you are a beginner with any kind of scripting or programming, I'm going to try to make Python as accessible as possible to you because it works on all platforms, right? You can install it on Windows, you can install it on Mac OS, you can install it on Linux. It's probably already there on some of those platforms. And it has a lot of power, right? You can even use something like py.exe to compile it, make it a compiled app, right? Like a binary. So I'm basically going to, instead of going, I did start off with, hey, here's a variable and here's this, but I always want it to be practical. It's never like, here's a variable, var1 equals banana. That, to me, that never make any sense. We talked about this last week for those of you that were, and that's what sparked me to do this, was I hate that kind of thing personally. Not that there's anything wrong with it. If that's your style, get buck wild, right? I'm not going to shame you. It's just not for me. It doesn't make any sense to my brain. I need it to latch onto something real for it to make sense to me. So that's what I'm doing in my course. Again, totally. The only thing you'll pay is the ad watch because I did monetize it. So you'll get ads. Sue me. Right? Hopefully that's not too much to ask because I make a cool, $300 a year off of my YouTube stuff. And it pays for like little things like Monster, right? I buy Monster with that kind of money and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I want to, and now I've pivoted even more into let's just build something. Let's start with the idea of what we want to build. And then as we create the things that it's supposed to do, you'll learn what those things are. And maybe we'll start off with something very simple, and then it will grow into something more complex as we learn the tools and techniques to be able to make that happen. So that's the idea. That's what mine is going to do. There is also a playlist. So if you, let's go back. I guess I'll throw the playlist because that's really what you want is the playlist. Hello. There we go. Playlist. And there it is right there. So is that there you go. That's what you want is the playlist. Copy, paste. Bam. And that way, whenever things come out, you can just follow the playlist as they come out. So yeah, number 2 will be out mañana, first thing in the morning. So let's see, KevTech in the house. What's up, KevTech? Man, we getting close to, I'm wearing my B-Sides Tampa shirt, right? I got my B-Sides Tampa shirt on. I love this shirt, by the way. You probably see me wear it a lot, and that's because I love it. It fits perfectly. I love the way it feels. Like the cloth is just right. I love the graphic. I get a lot of like comments and stuff when I wear it, so it's always a good conversation starter. So bam, bam, bam. All right, Carrie. You were asking about how the heck do you get it? Why is it that they saying they like your skills, but they don't go with you? That I couldn't tell you, honestly, right? But what you can do, reach out to those and go, hey, you know what? I interviewed there a little while back. Just call and ask for the person you talk to, or send them an email or a LinkedIn, whatever, and say, I'm not mad or anything like that. I just would like some advice from you or some whatever. If I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I can't fix it, right? And I love this analogy. I kind of got a little less headroom. Let me squat down. I always like to show this analogy. Here's my blind spot. It's up here, right? You can see that. I can't see it. I can look up. Nope, don't see it. Look down. So, and you could tell me, hey man, you've got a problem. You're like, where? You're like, it's above you. I go, okay. Right? I still don't see it. Where is this at? I cannot see this blind spot. You can see it. So you reach out to the people that can see your blind spot and go, hey, I know there's probably things about me that I can improve upon. I would love some help from your perspective on what that was. Because from my perspective, it seemed like everything was clicking and everything was jiving. And feel free, hurt me, right? Give me the raw, honest, brutal truth, because I cannot improve and get better if I don't hear what it is. And I might not like it when you say it. So just but I'm not going to kick back. I'm just going to say thank you for your feedback. And I'm going to really do some introspective looks at myself and what it was that you're saying from your perspective that wasn't enough. And maybe it wasn't anything bad necessarily. You just got outplayed, right? That could be it. Somebody could have just came along and they were like, oh, this is a perfect candidate. And while, yeah, we like Carrie a lot, this person just kind of edged them out. That happens. What are you going to do? It's a buyer's market right now. And the people that are out there looking for employees, they got the pick of the litter. So if someone comes along, they just kind of edged you out when it comes to their resume, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about that. You just move on. So I say there is something you can do about that. You can become better. You can continue to grow. Now, I understand you got your situation, right? And there is time. But brother, every free second you got should be improving, right? So David Toohey, I think it was David Toohey, talked about, let's jump in here, talked about the Cisco certified ethical hacker Cert, whatever it is, right? There you go. The UCF course. He mentioned this last week. I hadn't seen it yet. I did take a look at it this week. And for someone that wants to get something to put on a resume, oh, that's UCF. That's University of Central Florida. So sorry. There we go. Cisco, certified in ethical hacking. For someone that wants to kind of get into the certification space, get a cert, costs you zero money from what I can see. It might actually cost you more some money, but I don't see anywhere where this is basically sign up, self-study, get cert, right? There it is. You can get all this, you earn these 3 badges, and once you complete, you get the certification. This is in ethical hacking. This is a really great thing, right? I love free stuff, and this is free. And it's very pertinent to cybersecurity, right? No formal prerequisites required. Here's example learner profiles. Your entry-level or college students looking to get into cyber and display offensive security skills like pen testing and ethical hacking. Pen testers, ethical hacking, looking to stay current, right? So they are saying, now I don't know exactly what's in there. I'm actually probably going to sign up for this when I get some time, just so I can kind of go through it and give you a more detailed review on what my thoughts and opinions are on this. But on the surface, everything looks really good. I mean, it's Cisco. We like Cisco. Cisco's, I'm sure Anthony's out there going, yay, Cisco, right? Because he's CCIE. Anthony, speaking of, he says it's tough to find advanced certification exam these days that does not show some Python code. He's talking about the Python stuff. Yeah, I'll jump in the chat here in a second because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people talking about Python. Divine Dream Divine says, true. I like the words improving. Yes. Always improving, always bettering yourself. Become the unicorn that they didn't even know they were looking for, right? Get buck wild. Learn some programming. You're learning UX right now. That's awesome. Throw it on the pile. I know you've kind of steered yourself toward that, but do the same thing. Look out there and find what UX people are looking for. Start looking at UX job posts and things of that nature, and make sure that those skills are going on your resume so that when you get there, you're like, well, it ain't a skills problem, right? I have the skills you're looking for. I have the tools, techniques, and tactics, and blah, 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 everything that you are looking for. So what's up? And maybe you're just not the right culture fit. That happens too. There ain't really nothing you can do about that other than change who you are, which I don't recommend, right? Just be you. Always try to be the best version of yourself. To that extent, right? Find where you have like character flaws and things of that nature and work on those things. But at your core, who you are, who Carrie is, don't change that guy. Just make him the best Carrie he can be, right? And I understand that is a kind of a scary thing for a lot of people. But if you lean into that hard, it's going to do nothing but help you. So, bada bing bang. Cool. So sign up for that. It's free. Why not, right? Go get you some cert. You can throw it on the resume. It's not going to be a bad thing to have on your res. Okay, let's see here. KevTech is here. Oh, Kerry Taylor saying there's always a Wild West Hackin' Fest open mic night. Jesse did show up last year with his guitar and stuff. I am really he lives in Colorado, which is a drive to South Dakota, to Deadwood. I have to take a plane, and putting one of my guitars in the hands of a baggage thrower does not thrill me, right? And then there was an amp there and everything, but man, everybody likes their own way and their own settings and everything of that nature. So, and the stuff I play, I guess I could get up there and, like you said, play some AC/DC or whatever, but yeah. Let's see here. David 2 says Python 3. I just say Python. I know it's Python 3. I just say Python. I wish I started with Bash. This comes from Mark Fuentes. Python was not as easy as they say. There are some complex things to Python. Yes. It can be easy, but it definitely will stretch you. They use it for like data science and stuff like that, right? Like AI with its teeth were cut in Python. If I'm not mistaken, YouTube started as a pure Python project. It ran on Python and either Flask or Django or whatever, right? So, yeah. Marcus says that he took C++ in undergrad 22 years ago. Got as in it, but I hated it. Yeah. Tim, it's a strongly typed language. It's very difficult for me too. So I've done it. I've done the C++ thing. I want to get better at it, but I started with Python. I actually majored in computer science. Yeah. I also like Golang. I haven't fooled around with Rust yet, but I want to. The pain. What's up, the pain? I script in Bash and Python. My mother. He writes plays about beating up snakes. Oh man, that is funny. No, that was not stupid. That was funny. I like that a lot. All right, KevTech. We getting pizza when I see you? You darn right. We can. I'm down for some za. I like a good za, a good pie. John V. Daniel Lowry, I sent you a post on LinkedIn from Leon over at NVIDIA and Josh Sachs from Meta. Okay, I'll check it out. Plus, you also sent me that thing about your AI. I've got to get to that. I've got to get to that. Are you paying David Toohey? I am not paying David Toohey. David Toohey's just bringing it in, man. He's a good dude. Just say the magic word. I need your power as I and here. That's funny. Carrie Chasen, I guess I need to call the companies that I haven't interviewed, just applications, and they are going on with other people. I'm assuming that they are hiring within. It also happens. Absolutely. It might be policy that they make the job position public, even if they've already filled it. That's just policy stuff, especially in government. That can happen a lot. And then, well, I'm almost caught up here. Black Shell, will the reliance of programmers on AI reduce the demand for good programmers? No, I don't think so. What it's going to do is make good programmers worth more because they don't need AI to make good applications and write good software. What it will do is lower the bar to entry to becoming a junior dev. Well, it has, right? You got vibe coding thing now where people are making all sorts of money. Just basically going, I'm going to write an app with AI. AI is going to write my app. I'm just going to tell it what I want it to make, and it's going to make it for me. And then you sell your app. So that is a thing, right? It's kind of like the bug bounty of applications, I guess. Or that might be a bad analogy, but it's every person now can go dev an application, and if you think it's cool, you can sell it, put it in an app store, do this, do that. Phone apps are still fairly popular last time I checked, and you could use AI to write a phone application. Android Studio, right? You heard of that? It's going to be fun. Go check it out. You can even, I actually installed Android Studio the other day, or yesterday. It was yesterday. See, my timeline now, I'm becoming one with the universe because time to me has ceased to be linear. It's just one big block. Oh, let's see here. Let's see here. Wayne's Real World. Jedi Mind Trick. I am who you are looking for. That's right. Do the Jedi Mind Trick. I am the one you are looking for. I am the tech you're looking for. It's my Ian, or right? I can't think of his name right now. The original OG, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's see here. Carrie says, I didn't tell any bad jokes with the employer, so it wasn't that. Well, that's good to know. Right? Yeah, you can carry the guitar on. Yeah, just yeah. Again, I do not relish the idea of moving my guitar across the country at all. I've heard too many horror stories. Real Bilbo telling me they got a hard case for the amp I could borrow. For that monkey? That's what I'm bringing, right? I'm bringing the big 412 and 120 watt head, right? Plus, don't forget all my effects pedals and stuff like that. Actually, I'm plugged straight into this amp. It's just no. There's like a dirt pedal in front of it, and more like a boost or like an overdrive. Not distortion. That thing right there has all this. That's the most expensive distortion pedal I own, right there. All the gain you could ever want in an amp. The 6505, 5150, or OG 5150 has it in spades. Let's see here. Carrie Chasen, if you used version 3.14, It could be Python. Python. Okay. It's raining outside. You can't use the Rust programming languages. Oh, you love your good dad jokes, my friend. Mike Scholar. As I got letter grades of AA on my 2 semesters of it. Cool. That means you were at least pretty good at it. All right, catching up. Man, we got 10 minutes to go. Alec Guinness, thank you. Thank you, Haircut Fish. Alec Guinness was the OG Obi-Wan. That is right. Haircut Fish with the save. Thank you, sir. Man, I gotta have some more of this. Where are we going now? What else can we talk about today? We've talked about CVEs. Oh, Abe asked me about when's the next place you can meet me in person. I'm not weird, I swear. It's funny. I've met people that were like, "Oh man, I love your stuff," and blah blah blah, and then I do something weird, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're a weird person." And then they go, "Yeah, I'm a weird guy. What can I say?" I come by it honestly. I am who I am, but I do try to create the best version of me I possibly can, as much as I can. But I will be at B-Sides Tampa coming up. Let's go and check out when that date is. B-Sides Tampa. B-Sides Tampa. Which is in May, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say the 17th. Come on, B-Sides Tampa. Look at that cool graphic. I like it. Tampa 12. There it is. B-Sides 2025. We are 28 days, 21 hours, 7 minutes, and 50 some odd seconds away. May 17th. Right there at 8 a.m., Tampa, Florida. I will be there. Come with it, man. I'd love to see some of y'all out there. KevTech's going to be there. Anthony, are you going to be there? You still in chat, bro? You got to show up, bro. It's $45. This is a no-brainer, right? Buy that ticket, $45. If you are a student or a military, you get vet admission at $30. If you are building and securing this is for training, right? So there's also training, threat adversary emulation essentials, $10. $10. Network-based threat hunting with Zeke, $10 with a CTF. Hunting through seams, $10, right? Go get some training. Threat emulation 101, $10. Get your tickets. You show up May 16th. I think it is the day before the actual con is when they do the training, right? What else do they have here? Entry-level SOC analyst, security awareness. Birds are not real. That's fun. Purple teaming 101. A lot of really great intro to stuff and even a little bit higher training going on at B-Sides Tampa. So if you need to get some trainola, you want to do that in-person thing, it's fairly inexpensive, especially if you're in the Florida area. Why would you sleep on this? I get it. There are reasons. But in general, if you can, why not? Right? You get what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's not good reasons. I'm just saying that I'm prodding you to take training for $10. Jeffrey Johnson says, we are all weird. Embrace it. I do. It's just sometimes you see the shattered illusion of who I am in their face and you go, oh, they don't like me no more. Well, what are you going to do? Let's see here. I think Kimberly can fix it. FedEx will be there. Most likely. Yeah. I know Kimberly can fix it will be there. So that's cool. I can't wait to see her. One of the jobs I reread said I wasn't a match for Dish field technician, even though I could have been trained. Okay. That's a fairly vague meaning. Get on the interwebs, figure out, hey, has anybody else do like a Reddit thread? Has anybody else received this? I applied for a job at Dish Network. I did not receive it. I would love for someone at Dish to respond to this. If anybody knows someone at Dish, make a Reddit post and see if you can get some response about what does this mean and how can I improve so that I would be a qualified candidate. Where did I not meet the mark? You know, that's what's up. Abe says, yeah, if I see your t-shirt now. That's right. B-Sides Tampa, one of my favorites. What up? Let's see here. Divine Dream Divine says, Happy Easter, everyone. Take care all. Yeah, and love y'all. Happy Easter to you, too. I will also be celebrating Easter this weekend for all that you do. Appreciate you showing up and hanging out with me here on Good Friday. And even if you don't, I appreciate you showing up and hanging out with me. That's totally fine, right? You're allowed to do that. Mustache IT says he worked for Dish for almost 6 years as a field service tech. It's not great, all about sales now. Well, maybe they want you to be more of a sales technician than an actual technician. And that something you would have really wanted to do? I get it. A job is a job. And when you need a job is a job. I tell you right now, I'll go dip fries at a Mickey D's. I got no shame in my game. No job is beneath me. I got bills to pay and mouths to feed. And I will do, well, I will, as long as it's morally fine. There are jobs that are beneath me morally. But if it's on the up and up, janitorial skills are chef's kiss. I can take out the trash with the best of them and have done it. Really fun when you're like dumping garbage and somebody poured like a whole pot of coffee in a bag and it splashes up in your mouth and eyes. But hey, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I ain't ashamed to say, and would do it again if had to. I will do any job that is legally on the table. KevTech says we should get pizza when we meet up. Let's rock and roll, bro. We will do that. That sounds good. I like a good za, like I said. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. Wayne's Real World reminding everybody, yes, to hit the like button. And I'm not going to subgrub, but if you want to subscribe, if you want to like, the channel appreciates it. This is how you get it to other people that are out there. What am I doing? I got this whole, I'm keeping the screen up. Yeah. The more people see the channel, the more people will come to the channel. And doing things like liking and subscribing and commenting and that kind of stuff, that's what helps it grow, gets us out of our echo chamber, brings new people in. And yeah, I'd love to see new people. That would be the only reason I would want you to really do that you actually like the channel, you like the content, then do the thing, right? And so that other people that might like it could see it. Gary Chasen says, thanks for the answers. You're welcome. I want to help you, bro, as much as I possibly can. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open all the time for stuff that I think might be in your wheelhouse. It's just, I don't have a ton of time for that. And I don't typically see a lot of that stuff. But when I do, if I see something, I will definitely throw it your way and let you know. Let's see here. Got 2 minutes left to go. I know about the lamb. I was just curious. In the garbage cans from working at the church. Yeah, bro. It is not fun. It's a great way to get this guy really angry. But hey. Do I have Discord? Black Shell, I don't have Discord. I'm Daniel.Lowry in Discord. So yes, I'm on Discord. So yes, I'll just put it out there. Yeah, I did create a Discord channel, but it's not like public or anything yet, maybe. I don't know. I just did it to see what it was like to create one. So it is there. I don't spend a lot of time in Discord, but enough of you have been asking about other ways to be in community with each other. So I wanted to kind of just see what that looked like to get that ball rolling. So while technically I do have one, there's nobody in it. I think it's invitation only at this point. We'll talk about. I'm thinking I'm slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. I'm working my way. Eventually I will open it up to everyone. You just can join. But so I'm getting there. I'm getting there is the answer. Almost. So yes, technically, but not officially. Justin Gold saying, yep, sharing job openings is rough right now. Had to find solid looking postings to bother someone with. Yeah, it is what it is, right? This is how it goes. It was an election year, and you can just look at the trend. Every single election year, organizations and companies go, whoa, we got to see what's going to happen. We don't want to be spending money on employees quite right now. I want to see how that's going to work. And then, we'll see. Luke J says, you rock. Work gets in the way. It does. Work. Got to pay those stinking bills. I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a job that I enjoy. So it's fun to go to work. All right, last question. We are at 11 o'clock. Abe says, so ACI Learning has this humble bundle deal, 24 courses for $25. Worth the time and cash, you think? Of a hard time telling anyone to give them money. But if it's my content, I will tell you this. I did the best I could. I put my heart and soul into all the content that I make. I try to make it fun. I try to make it engaging. I try to make it where it's actually giving you the skill practical, right? I try to show things and not just talk about things. That said, if you spend $25 with that org, then there you go. You make the decision. That's up to you, man. I just say that I don't endorse that org, and I'll leave it at that. You now have all the information you need to make an informed decision. And I won't be mad at you if you pull the trigger on it. That's it. All right. I think we're done. We're at 11:01. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well. We did a lot of cyber talking, and we're going to do it again next week. So join me on Friday of next week at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll do this again. Get that morning pour. Next week we're gonna do two monsters and mix them together, and fingers crossed that it's good. So until next time, everyone, keep hacking. We'll see you then.